Hey guys, I'm Shantae from naturalveganmama.com, where we're all about showing you how easy this vegan lifestyle can be. Today I'm going to bring you a delicious, yummy tofu stir fry. I hope you guys like it. I'm coming to you from the car today because I did something really stupid. I ordered some masks from a friend of mine, and I ordered them and paid for them through PayPal, and I forgot to change my address on my PayPal, so it went to the wrong address. So I didn't realize that until maybe 3 days after they were supposed to arrive. So I tracked it and I saw that it went to my old address. So I'm just sitting out in front of my old place to see if maybe I can catch the person who lives there now coming home and just explain to them what happened, and hopefully they'll do the right thing and give me the mask. But I don't know. If not, I guess I'll figure something else out. But yeah, that's why I'm coming to you from the car for the intro. But I did make this today earlier. It was so good. I had it for lunch. And hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you're going to make it. And if you make a tofu stir fry and there's something that you do differently, you know, the nice thing about stir fry is you can really make it your own and add different ingredients and things to it. So yeah, check it out and I'll see you guys at the end. I did a little tweak at the end, so it was one ingredient that I don't show you in the beginning that I decided to add at the end. So yeah, I'll show you that later on. These are the ingredients that I use. I use tamari. Tamari is really great if you want a gluten-free option for soy sauce. I kind of go back and forth, but tamari is really good. Some extra virgin olive oil. This table salt, which is iodized. I do still purchase and use sea salt, pink sea salt or regular kosher sea salt. But the good thing about using salt that is already iodized is it has a nutrient that we need. And if you're not taking that on your own, or if it's not in a multivitamin or something like that, it's not something that you're going to be just getting easily. So I did go ahead and purchase the regular table salt just so that I can make sure I'm getting that. Sometimes, you know, we get hooked on to the different trends and things that come out in the health community, and there's certain things that are already, you know, staples in our diet that are actually okay for us or actually good for us. So it's good to kind of, you know, do your research and make sure you're not missing anything when you start cutting things out. So I also have the smoked paprika there, some black pepper, and then on the end I have the Szechuan spicy sauce. Well, not sauce, the spicy pepper. You can add that. If you don't have it, it's not gonna make or break your dish. But sometimes I like to add that for a little bit of extra Asian flavor, and also that sweet spicy oil is really good for that too. I don't put too much, just a couple drops will do. So if you wanted to add it at the end too, in case you have people in your household that are eating this dish that don't like spicy, you can add that at the end and it'll still give you a lot of flavor. So as for the tofu, this is a tofu that I'm using. I wanted to do two different things with the tofu to show you guys how it is, as far as making sure it's firm, extra firm, extra firm, and getting all the liquid out. So the one on the left was put in the freezer for several days. You don't really have to do it that long, but that's just how long it was in there. But as long as it freezes and then you defrost it, you'll get the effect that I'm going to talk to you about. And then the one on the right was just straight from the grocery store to the refrigerator and has not been frozen. So I learned this tip. If you freeze your tofu and then thaw it out, you'll release more moisture. So as you can see, as I'm tapping it down, there's more moisture coming out of the tofu that's on the left that was frozen than on the one on the right. And the nice thing about those individual packaged tofus is you can decide, you know, if you want some that are frozen, some that are not frozen, depending on the texture that you want in the dish that you're making. So with this particular dish, I think I would prefer to have the one that was not frozen because it's going to stay together longer. As you're cooking it, it's not as delicate. But the one that was frozen, it does have, you know, a meatier, firmer texture if that's what you're looking for. So I think the frozen one would be good for something like if you're going to do a dish that requires ground turkey or ground beef, like you could easily crumble that up and season it up really good, brown it up, and add it to a tomato sauce or anything like a taco meat type of deal, something like that. It's going to crumble up really well and have a nice meaty texture. But sometimes, you just want tofu that is firm, but not, you want it to be like hold its shape. So let's say you're going to cut it into triangles or squares or cubes and grill it up or bake it or fry it. You want it to remain together as much as possible because it's not a crumbled up type of dish. So I would go with just using it straight out of the refrigerator. I have some cabbage here, and this is a little trick if you want to save time. Just go ahead and get those bags of cabbage that are for coleslaw. So the coleslaw pre-packaged fresh cabbage baggies that are in your lettuce section. Usually they're with all the different salads and stuff. It's the coleslaw blend. So you can get that. It's already cut up for you and you don't have to worry about wasting cabbage if you're not going to use the whole head. And it really saves a lot of time. I'm also adding ginger. You guys know I love ginger. I like to get a lot of it and freeze it. It freezes really well, so it's always ready for you. I also have some sprouts that were frozen that I made a while back, or that I grew a while back. And I have some onion that I need to use up. And I'm using scallion as well as this spaghetti for the noodles. You can use rice too if you don't want to use spaghetti. And I'm also going to be adding carrots to this dish. So for the carrots, I have a lot of baby carrots on hand right now. So instead of slicing them and straining them by hand, I want to give it that effect of like the bigger slices instead of the little shreds. So I'm going to use my food processor. I've had this baby for a while. It's, did me really good. So I'll leave information in the description box if you want to check out the food processor. It's a reasonable one and it does the job. So what I'm doing is just putting all of the carrots in the top, making sure the blade is facing the right way, and then putting everything down. Now here is a mistake that I made. I forgot to take the internal blade out. So don't make that mistake, guys. Make sure you take the internal blade out if you're going to be using the top blade. And I'll just use that for salad. I'll just pack that away, use it for salad. But here we go. I took the internal blade out, and this is what the carrot should look like. This is what I wanted, bigger pieces for a stir fry. I think is really nice. Yeah, that came out pretty good. So I have my chopped red onion here, my garlic. I took the skin off of the garlic and I cut up the scallion so it's ready to go. I like scallion as a garnish. It gives a nice crunch at the end of your dish. So just adding a little bit of oil to a pan. Gonna put these guys in here and saute them up nicely. The aroma coming from this was so good. So just, turn it around a little bit, let it get well coated. This is medium-high heat. Just gonna get that going for a little bit, and then while I turn it down just a little bit so it can caramelize just a little, I'm gonna go ahead and get started cutting up my tofu. So this is how I wanted to cut my tofu up. You can cut it into squares and then into little skinny rectangles. I like that style. You can even go thinner if you want, which is really delicious. It gives it a nice texture. Get away, from just doing the square cube tofu chunks that we normally like to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and saute up that a little bit. Get that going. Now just adding all of the seasonings that I showed you in the beginning. Some black pepper, some smoked paprika, all those good things, and also the the tamari that will give it that nice soy sauce, salty, umami flavor. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots in there. I went ahead and took out the tofu just to give them a rest on the side while I do all of this. I don't have a wok, but this works just as well. And adding the cabbage in there, let all of that stuff saute for a little bit with that little bit of oil and all of your seasonings and the tamari. I'm going to go ahead and add my sprouts. This was fun to use. I'm definitely going to freeze my sprouts again so that they're ready to add to my dishes that need a little bit of that Asian flavor of having sprouts. You can also use fresh sprouts, but if you make your own sprouts, or if you buy sprouts and you want to just use them a little bit longer, you can freeze them so that you can have that. I know some people buy the canned ones too, like the bamboo sprouts and things like that to add to dishes. But it's nice when you can have your own, and it's definitely a lot less expensive and it's fresh, you know exactly what's in it. But everything is ready, so let me go ahead and plate up this bad boy. So this is the pasta. Just adding a little bit of pasta on the bottom. I'm going to layer it. You could definitely mix everything up together if you want, but I think it looks really pretty when you layer it. I'm going to layer in my cabbage and carrots and sprouts, lentil sprouts. I have a video of how to sprout lentils too. I'll drop it in the description box below if you want to check it out. It's really easy. I'm going to add my tofu on top and my scallion. Give it a little extra color and crunch. So pretty. And then I'm gonna add this ingredient. These are peanuts. You can just add to your dish, have them on hand, snack on. But I thought it would be really cool to add that extra crunch and extra element of an Asian dish. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. It came out super, super delicious and filling. And the good thing about it is it didn't take too long to make, because so many of the things I did to hack it, as far as like having the cabbage shredded already, instead of like sitting there and slicing up the carrots, using a food processor to do that, and yeah, having those sprouts already ready. All of those things make it really super easy to make. Oh, a lot of people have been asking me about salad dressings for the summer, so I'll drop this video in the description box below of a really simple, easy to make salad dressing that you can make at home. There's actually 2 salad dressings that are my go-tos right now, as well as a whole bunch of tips for salad dressings that don't take a lot of time, that you can make on your own or you can purchase, but they're not the salad dressings that have been sitting on, the shelf in preservatives, that are not super fresh and good for you, and they have so much sugar in it. So shout out to Tiffany for inspiring me to make that video. She was like, girl, what do I need to do for my salad dressing? These salad dressings have so much sugar. So that she inspired me to make that video. Well guys, thank you so much for voting and letting me know which video you wanted me to make next. I had a vote in the community section on which video you guys wanted me to make next. So this is the one you guys voted on. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see from our channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!